Hey, hey, hey. What's Penny cooking today? You ready? Ta-da! Check out the new apron. This one I got this past weekend at my all-time favorite craft fair. And a shout out to the amazing creator of this lacy Chihuahua apron. I just love her work. I see her every time I go to this particular craft fair, and her name is Jackie Riley. She's a crafter. Her name of her craft is Christian Crafts, and she makes very Christian crafts. And she's just awesome, and she's over at Homestead Handicrafts on Thousand Oaks. If you want your very own amazing Chihuahua lace covered apron. But so this particular recipe is from my sister Troy. She actually, it's one of my mom's recipes, but she was asking me for it last night. And the recipe is for Mom's avocado sandwich filling. And it calls for 1 large ripe avocado, 1 tablespoon of onion chopped fine. Now, Mom does not designate if we're talking brown onion or if we're talking red onion. I'm using red because if this is something that you're eating that is not cooked, red onion is usually better. And since this is a non-cooked recipe, we're going to go with the red. And 1 tablespoon of grated carrot. So I've got my I use the small and the grated carrots in there. Lemon juice from half a lemon. I've got a small lemon, so we'll taste it and we'll see how it goes. Smash the avocado, salt and pepper to taste. Smash the avocado, add the lemon juice and mix well. Add carrot and onion, mix well. Salt and pepper to taste. I really like this on buttered toast. So, now, I have just described avocado toast, which all of you know is a bougie thingy out in the world today. And what makes me laugh is my mom was making avocado toast long before anybody, said that avocado toast was something that you should be consuming on a regular basis. And so, which brings me to the reason why I posted a picture of my Uncle Henry a little bit earlier today on my Facebook page. And so my mom had a couple of siblings that were, for lack of a better term, enigmas. And what I mean by that, and I say that in the most loving way possible, is we just never saw them. And that was her sister B, who lived in around Fresno, Delhi, Central California somewhere. So she wasn't on the regular path of visitation like my aunties that lived up in San Jose. And then I had other aunts that I saw quite regularly, like my aunt Irene, and Bertha and Virgie, of course, that were the San Jose. Irene lived by the beach, and of course we always had to visit Irene, who lived by the beach. And but the one that we rarely ever saw was my mom's brother Henry. And the reason for that, and the reason I posted that interesting little blurb about him, was that my Uncle Henry, the majority of the men in my family were vertically challenged. So the first time I met Uncle Henry, my Uncle Henry was about as tall as my husband, so like roughly 6 feet. And, since the majority of the women in my family are, barely scraping 5, the first time my, 10-year-old self met Uncle Henry, it was like, so he was, and he was an airman, and the first time he came to visit, he was coming back from Saudi Arabia, and he'd been stationed over there. And if you read the little blurb, he was an airman in World War II, flew a Mustang. There's a family story about there that when he was in flight school, he buzzed the Azusa house, and my grandma went out there with a broom, and she was screaming at him, "Henry, come down!" In Spanish, of course. But, so that's, the Uncle Henry being a pilot thing. But anyway, so Uncle Henry came to visit, and he'd been in the desert for forever, and he was totally craving anything green. Goes out into our backyard where we had roughly 20-something avocado trees in the Azusa house, and he really wanted an avocado. So he just grabbed an avocado, skin and all, ate it like an apple. Okay, and and all of us were like, and my dad was like, okay, but I guess he was really, really wanting some greens, because I guess being out in the desert, you'd want some greens. But anyways, so a little bit on avocados. Growing up with avocados, I had avocados every time I wanted an avocado. So having to buy avocados was just really, really challenging for me growing up. But so this avocado is ready to go. It gives just a little bit, it's difficult to tell with avocados. So like this one's not ready to go because it's hard as a rock. But this one's got a little give to it. And you see the little stem here, you can pop it off. And if it looks green like that, then you know this avocado is ready to go. So Mom's recipe, and then when you cut into it, it doesn't fight you, which is another good sign that this is going to be an amazing avocado. So you pop it open. This one is a little underripe, but that's okay. That's okay. It's still a good recipe. The meat still sticks to the seed, so it's just a tad underripe, but it's still going to work for this recipe. And getting the seed out, some people like just push it like that, but that's fine. We're just going to use this side. Now I actually have a fancy tool that just pulls the flesh right out and cuts it into nice little perfect spots, and no, not doing that. So Mom says smash it up, and we're gonna pop out this seed that's fighting me. I'll be right back. We still have some of this seed skin in there, so we're gonna get rid of that. Just peel that out. And the reason that you add the lemon juice to it is because that prevents the icky, gray, browny, yucky that we get when avocados have been around a little while. So Mom says 1 large ripe avocado. So we're putting all of the avocado into the mixing bowl. So we've got our avocado in the mixing bowl, and we are going to move on to the next step, which is a tablespoon of onion chopped, which we have here, and that's a little bit more than a tablespoon, but my kitchen, my rules. And I'm trying to find the chunk, which we all, I should have been a little bit more prepared before I started filming, but don't care. We all have those scary drawers. All right, the scary drawer. All right, so the chunk, which is Mom's chopping tool. Okay, and then she says, smash the avocado and add the lemon juice. So, you roll your lemons and you get more juice out of them. The other thing too is that these are, I like to use one of these things. This is a strainer from, like a sink strainer. And I just use that, and it saves me from, having to pick out seeds and stuff. And she says the juice from half a lemon, but this lemon, we'll check the flavor in a little bit and see how it goes. Okay, and then she says, so smash the avocado, add the lemon juice, and mix well. Okay, so we've got the ka-chunk, we're going to ka-chunka, and we're going to smash that avocado, and we got the lemon juice in there, and we have pretty well made short work of this avocado using the ka-chunk. Yeah. Remember this is my mom's favorite tool. Yeah, and they're still in manufacture, quick cut, So anyways, so we have smashed avocado. Then she says, add the carrot and the onion and mix well. Oh, I threw the onion in there. It's all going in the same place. But she says mix well. So I'm mixing well. And then she says salt and pepper to taste. And I really like this on buttered toast. So, let me wash my hands a sec. Salt and pepper to taste. My wonderful pink Himalayan. about that much. We got pepper. Pepper, 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 pepper. And we chunk it up. And this one, I like to let it just rest a little bit, but so mix it up really well. And there, we've got Mom's avocado filling. Give it a taste. A little more lemon, a little more salt, and I think we're done. So, and as she said, serve it on toast. My preference is a good sourdough. Find yourself a good sourdough. I have a couple of like really, really good artisan bakers. This is not their product, but when you find a good sourdough, keep it as your favorite. So we're gonna put that in the toaster, and that's it. Mom's avocado toast filling. So sandwich filling. So that's a yum one, and I hope you enjoyed the Uncle Henry story and my lovely new Chihuahua apron. So until next time, don't forget, I love ya, and ta-ta for now.